Alright, something a little bit different now. Eldar Farseer Wingblade versus the Lord General of DanielGrushin on Adilla's map, Selenon Island. Is it Island? Or is it Fissure? I'm having a bit of a brain fart now. I feel like it should be called Fissure because of this. Where's the island? Why is it called an island? Yo, am I tripping out right now? Why is it an island? Is it like an island in the sky? Eh? The fuck is this shit? Some trippy Eldar shit. Looks like RuneScape, man. Anyway. Yeah, I figured we should probably get some games that don't feature Tyranids, because Tyranids seem to be everywhere at the moment. So, I see in this game, cast it. Wingblade going with the pretty conventional triple Guardians opening. Obviously you're going to overwhelm the Sentinel really easily. Now, whether you go for double Guardians or triple Guardians, they both work. There's arguments either way. Obviously, by going for double Guardians, you can get out your tier 1.5 Shurikens much sooner because you can drop a full gen farm at the start. But you just have less pressure against the Sentinel early on, and you're susceptible to bleed. Especially against the Lord General, you're going to struggle to focus fire him down because he's so tanky. I think on this map, Triple Guardian is a really good shout out. The map is affectionately dubbed the Gen Bashing map by Boss because, well, yeah, it's so easy to Gen Bash, and that's basically what the map comes down to, just constant Gen Bashing non-stop. Has he used Guide already? Is he saving it, I guess, until the opponent commits to a fight? And of course, by going triple Guardians, you just have a lot more pressure early on. You can just run up this side, run up either of the sides, and just be bashing constantly. Here we finally see Guide, and by having the triple Guardians, especially with the Guide boost from the Farseer, you can so easily overwhelm the repairs of the Sentinels. I mean, you can even overwhelm double repairs. The DPS of triple Guardians is really impressive. You do have to be careful about losing your Guardian models. When you lose models, you lose a substantial amount of your DPS. This is pretty poor play from Wingblade, to be fair. He should not be bleeding all these models here. It's really unnecessary. In fact, I don't know what Grushin's doing. He should have been shooting this Guardian squad a long time ago. They should definitely have died there. To bleed this many models is terrible. He had a nice early push. He should have pushed them off, come back, denied the node, and then just got out of there without standing and trading all these models. There was no reason to lose all of them. Now, interestingly, we see a heavy weapons team. That's, I don't know. I don't really understand that choice. It's not like there's that many narrow passageways on this map, and there's always means to flank. Even when you're, like, up here, it's quite open and wide, so you can still find ways to flank. And against triple Guardians, well, look, we see the battle equipment coming out already. That gives them fleet plus nades. And that's going to be really rough for heavy weapons team. Yeah, he acknowledges that, and he's going to go for the artillery spotters. The artillery spotters are an obvious choice. They're going to be able to counter the Shuriken. Unfortunately for Grushin, he doesn't even have any... Well, he does have a PowerPoint, but he has no gens. I was going to say he doesn't even have a PowerPoint. He does have this one here. So this gives him roughly equivalent of 1 gen of income, but unfortunately he doesn't have his own natural power, so he's going to be behind for quite some time. Now the spotters are out. This Shuriken needs to be really careful. It could die. Again, poor micro from Wingblade. As soon as he's seen that flare for the mortar, he should have just retreated the Shuriken. Ended up losing a substantial amount of HP there unnecessarily, and really is quite lucky to have not lost another model as well. Now the Shuriken being up the front and pushing Grushin back like this has meant that Wingblade has been able to get the better end of the map control, specifically capping up these 2 points as well, which are quite awkward because they're far away from the combat and the gen farm, so it can be quite annoying to cap them, especially in this matchup where you kind of want to blob your units quite a lot. However, Grushin did have the better end of the VP control in the early game, owning both here, and thus has a nice VP lead. Grushin's so desperate for power at the moment, he's actually dropping a generator on his contested power farm. He has now noded this up, and he's trying to capture the other contested power point, which I imagine he will node as well. One of the advantages of playing against Eldar in this matchup, in them not wanting to get Banshees, is that they don't really have a fantastic means of destroying power nodes and generators, because they don't have Banshees. So they have to rely on pure focus fire from the Guardians, which can actually take quite a lot of time and gives you an opportunity to start capping up the map. Or of course they can move shurikens at point blank and they'll kill the power nodes and gens quite fast, but shurikens that are gen bashing are shurikens that aren't fighting, so you know, pretty decent. Smoke shelled out, going down to stop that shuriken firing for now. I'm not sure about that mortar usage there. Yeah, that was... You know that the smoke shell is going to wear off at some point, and then your gen bash is going to be at a loss, so you obviously should have saved the mortar shell for that. Knock the shuriken into the firing arc of the multi-laser turret, which does about 135% of the DPS of the Guardsman squad. It's very, very strong. That would have gone much better for him. Now, the opportunity has been taken by Wingblade to capture the north-western side of the map. Ooh, if that's a mortar? No, it's not. Okay, but he might lose the Guardian weapon team anyway. Wow, that was really close. Really close. Now, Wingblade is managing to hold his gen farm, but not by much. And he keeps trying to put down energy shields, but of course, when you put down the energy shield, by default it has 0 HP. And if there's an enemy in front of you, units will shoot them. So you shoot through it and they'll destroy their own energy shield, so it doesn't really work. Takes down the node, but then it's instantly re-noded by Wingblade, so he can't get the capture. He's going to continue to focus fire down the generators. Bit of a shame that the multi-last turret is so far back here. It should have been a bit closer so it was in range to actually contribute to killing these generators. Fortunately, there is a bug at the moment where it won't do damage to the power node. I believe that will be resolved next patch. But it can still damage these generators, so I would have liked to have seen that happen. Now, one of the Guardsman squads has not been in this fight and has been spent to cap this side of the map. As you can see, it's very crucial, and you can imagine if he had the Guardsman here as well, the double Guardsman, this gem farm would be fully bashed. It can be very inconvenient having to try to cap this side of the map. Meanwhile, Wingblade has caught the entire western side of the map and is now going for a generator bash of his own. Guided Dire Avengers and Nidling Farseer. Interesting pickup on the Farseer, going for Ghost Helm, which grants the Mind Roar ability, which will do pretty good single target DPS. And it suppresses, so it's pretty good against sergeants in the Guardsman squads. Get a lot of damage on them because of the die less mechanic, and it spreads and can kill multiple models. And then of course it shuts them down from shooting as well, but I don't know if it's really a priority upgrade. The way I see it, I can't remember the exact price, I think it's like 125 power. So really I'd just rather get another 100 or so requisition and get another shuriken out. I feel like that would give you a lot more pressure. Is that a mortar shell? Nope, just a smoke. Not enough time for that shuriken to actually set up. Yeah, you can see why this is called the gen bashing map, can't you? I mean, it's just relentless. Sentinel making use of its ability to decap points really well, actually. Getting a lot of value out of that.
Adding support structure. We have succeeded in our objective.
Last turret not being micro to shoot the generators. Okay, it is now. Some of its shots scattering and hitting the energy shield. How the fuck is it even firing that far? Ah, because we're in tier 2 now, so it's got the extra range. It's got the upgrade on it, which gives it 50% more range and 50% more damage. So it ends up doing 60 DPS, which is pretty amazing, honestly. Look at it, nuking down those Guardians. Every burst is killing a Guardian, and that's with the 30% extra HP. Damn. It's brutal. However, Wingblade has managed to hold onto his gen farms for long enough now. He's getting a Falcon out. which is obviously going to synergize really well with the fact that he's got triple Guardians, so triple repair support, and a lot of mobile DPS. Grushin already has his Chimera out on the field. It doesn't really matter too much now. He can use that to counter the Shuriken, but he's already got the Gem Bash, so he doesn't really need to be committing to these fights very much. He's obviously going to try and hold his ground as best as he can for now, but that's not going to be able to happen once the Falcon comes out because he doesn't have any AV yet. Now, of course, you can get the Missile Launcher and the Sentinel, and you can get Melter Guns as well on the Lord General, but he hasn't got them yet because he doesn't know the Falcon's on the field. He's going to see it shortly. It spots the Chimera. It's going to go after the Chimera. Rear armor hits so far. Not choosing to chase the Chimera, instead going down the eastern part of the map. Nope, now it's turned around again. But this gives plenty of time for Grushin to get some anti-vehicle upgrades. Now he's got the Sentinel Missile Launcher coming out, but that does not do a lot of damage. It fires pretty slowly and it does 100 damage per hit. And then the Guardians, of course, are going to be doing 30 DPS. Well, 30 HPS, heal per second with their repairs. However, the Guardians are bleeding loads. They don't have their X-Axe yet. Oh my god. Grenades immediately dropped on that Sentinel, combined with the high DPS of the Falcon, knocks it out. I mean, that's the thing. The Sentinel has a missile launcher, and missile launchers are burst fire weaponry. You move in, you shoot, you run away. And units in Dawn of War 2, while they're running away or moving anywhere, they reload. So that's the optimal use of it. Move in, shoot, move out, shoot. You know, so you can't get return fire. And he wasn't doing that. He was just trying to face tank Eldar DPS, which is not going to work. This is a problem for Grushin now because he doesn't have any AV at all on the field. He's getting Melter Guns for his Lord General, which have now embarked into the Chimera, but they're really short range. So I don't think it's going to be that great. I mean, you just tie it up in melee and then shoot it up. He's going for a Stormtrooper squad. You have to assume that he's going to be getting Melter Guns on that Stormtrooper squad. Melter Guns on that Stormtrooper squad. And that could actually get the kill on the Falcon because there's no detection on the field at the moment. Of course, do bear in mind that the Farseer can use her Farsight Global to get AoE detection in quite a large area anywhere. So that's definitely one factor that helps the Farseer in dealing with those infiltrated units, even when she doesn't have ranges. But all it takes is one really... Wow, they're going for hot shot las guns. They're not going for the Melter Kit. I'm going to say, all it takes is one good ambush, you get a rear armor Melter Bomb, and then you rush forward with the Lord General, and you do a pincer attack, and yeah, you're going to be in a decent spot to kill the Falcon, but not when you've got hotshot las guns. They don't do anything to vehicle armor. So I guess his strategy is just to bleed the Eldar, kill all the infantry. Chimera just bum rushes the Bright Lance. Actually, a free Webway Gate kill as well there. Bit of an odd place for a Webway Gate. I would have liked to have seen some on this side of the map instead. There's lots of spaces back here that you can move to that don't really get used. Be a great spot for a Webway Gate.
Support structure complete.
Do we see the Warlocks? Yeah, we do. So we've got triple Warlock. The Warlock is such a big buff to the durability of the squad. Not only does the Warlock himself have really good HP compared to a Guardian, but he gives 20% damage resistance to every single model in the squad. It's a huge boost. More gem bashing is happening. Both players completely unable to maintain full generator farms for long periods of time in this game. Not surprising given the map. Absolutely brutal VP lead at the moment for Wingblade. Just in time to dodge those grenades. Pretty close. Beautiful mortar shell though. Really disrupted those Guardians. Then the Falcon got out of there before any follow-up really could happen. However, it did mean that the Guardians were all routed. Stormtroopers caught by the Falcon now. They need to get out of there. They're bleeding models and they do cost a lot of requisition. Now, there is a Webway Gate here, so the Guardians can pop out there real soon and they should be able to bully that Guardsman squad easily. Webway Gate's going up all over the place now. Lots and lots of red for DanielGrushin, and he has tier 3 already. So we might see a rocket run soon. Now, if you weaken these Guardians, get a good mortar shell on them and a little bit of pew pew, a rocket run in retreat is going to wipe them. Once they're all gone, it's going to be a lot easier to win this fight. All he needs then is to get a Lehman Russ, pop a Vanquisher cannon on it so it outranges the Falcon. Job's a good one. Clearly utilising the global there to drop down the Lehman Russ immediately on the battlefield without having to wait for the build time. So here you go, Lehman Russ on the field. Now DanielGrushin is in control of both of these VPs, which is important because he doesn't have a lot of VPs left actually. Pretty sizable VP advantage for Wingblade, who's going for a second Falcon at the moment. I think if he sees the Lehman Russ, he'll cancel that. He needs to get to tier 3, but the problem is he's struggling to maintain his generators. Wow, that damage was horrendous. Did he just upgrade to... Yes, I was going to say. That reloaded way too quickly. He upgraded to the Vanquisher, which resets the cooldown for the gun, because it's obviously a different cannon technically. Oh, he idled the Falcon! But the Lehman shot the Bright Lance, which missed. Oh, now he's got a second Falcon. Oh, that's not ideal. That is not ideal. Lehman Russ has just got way too much HP. Bright Lance is only doing 90 per shot. I mean, that's going to take forever against 1,200 HP, and now they're healing 30 per second. You just need more than that. Lehman Russ is too tough. Now Wingblade's managed to secure that eastern side of the map pretty well, but the problem is he can't really contest this Lehman Russ, and now he's losing his power farm again, which means he's not going to be able to get the units that can contest it, such as a Fire Prism, which would outrange it slightly. Yeah, there's not really much else Eldar can do, to be fair. Normally they already have things like Wraithguard, who will do really good damage to the Lehman Russ, as well as routing the units that typically will be supporting it with repairs. But Wingblade hasn't already got the Wraithguard because he's chosen to get these double Falcons instead. Nice use of this Falcon to get a gem bash in. It doesn't really matter too much for Daniel because he's probably just going to want to get Cassock in next anyway. Oh god, rear armor, Vanquisher, this is a dead Falcon. This is a dead Falcon. Oh, did it miss? I think it missed a shot there. It missed again! How is it missing? Does the last cannon out of range? Looks like it. Oh no, last cannon got it there. I don't know, it seemed to shoot the last cannon and the cannon at the same time. Either way, Falcon's dead. It couldn't get away quick enough. This thing's got like 55 range or something, so you've really got to run straight away as soon as you see it. But now that the Lehman Russ was forced to take this path up here, defend the gen farm and come across to the east, Wingblade is able to push up and get back this VP, so he's not actually losing in VPs. In fact, he's got a 2-to-1 cap. Not for long. But yeah, he's definitely holding out the VPs, and there's nothing to stop him capping Grushin's natural. Honestly, the Chimera is not really doing that much right now. I'm not sure Ghost Helm has really got enough value in this game. I've only seen it being used once and it didn't really do that much. Took about 20% of the HP off of Garzan squad, that was it. He's obviously going to try and keep the Farseer in combat here, yeah, to get the guide off and then run. This will do massive damage to the Guardsmen, but they do move, so it doesn't hit all of them, and now they can just get in the Chimera and get out of there. See the damage of guided Wraithguard though. Huge amount of damage to those vehicles. Problem is that they can't move and fire at the same time, so you just keep your own units moving and they're not very good, and you outrange them with a lot of stuff as well, like obviously this Vanquisher and the Assault Kit as well. Is that the rocket run? No, I was going to say that would not be a good use of the rocket run. Save that for the masses of Guardians. Just a creeping Basilisk barrage, knock these Guardians away, do a tiny bit of damage to the Wraithguard. Not really worth it, and honestly the Wraithguard didn't need to retreat there. They could have just hunted down these Stormtroopers at least for a little bit longer to let Wingblade get that cap. Because that's the thing, he's now winning on VPs so significantly. If he just holds out, he should be fine. Oh wow, look at this. Guided Bright Lance. That Farseer's putting in so much work. Look at the range. Finally gets down a smoke grenade onto that Bright Lance to stop it firing, but... Man. Grushin just can't push forward right now. Wraithguard should be able to pop out of here any second. Here they are. Yeah, I don't think he can push against this. He doesn't even have the Commissars and his Guardsmen, so they're not that tanky. The Lehman Rust is nice because of its range, but it just doesn't do that much DPS with this weapon. It is obviously more of a tank hunting weapon, is that Vanquisher cannon. He's floating like crazy. Why didn't he not get Kassakin out way sooner? He needs anti-infantry DPS, clearly. Nuke down these Wraithguard, bleed all these Guardians. It was pretty poor that he sat the Lehman Russ inside the Firing Arc of the Bright Lance for so long there. All they had to do was move back slightly and it wouldn't be able to shoot through this thing and you could still get good DPS on them. Kassakin should be down this side to help out the Stormtroopers, and he should have had these Kassakin out way sooner, and then the combined Stormtroopers plus Kassakin will be able to take on any one squad quite easily. He's had the red for a rocket run as well, and he's not been able to get that off. Rocket run should quite easily wipe out Guardians. That would have been a big game changer. Once again, oh no, the Bright Lance isn't guided yet, it's just been moved forward and is protected by this energy shield. I think Grushin just cannot push this point right now. The Eldar just pop out of the Webway gate every time after they've retreated and healed back up, and he just doesn't have the DPS to deal with it. Kassakin will help with that. Did the spotters just get that? Wow, they just got gibbed. Inspiration of the Kassakin is going to be really powerful here, but he's out of VPs already. Wraithguard even getting the cap on this side as well. He did manage to take out that Webway gate. But yeah, that was brutal. Wow, he got such a big economic lead as well. Got to tier 3 so quickly, dropped down that Lehman Russ, sniped a Falcon straight away with a Lehman, deterred the other one. But yeah, it is tough because you're just so much less mobile as the Imperial Guard in this matchup, and this is a pretty bad map for it. This is one of the best Eldar maps there is, to be fair. But there were definitely things he could do. Kassakin needed to come out sooner. He needed to not blob so much. I don't really think the Chimera did very much at all. I mean, it didn't help in any way against the Falcon. It was pretty useless in these fights because he wasn't even investing in the Commissars. So it wasn't, you know, the Guardsmen were not very combat effective. He threw away the Sentinel over here straight away for no real reason. And he had red for a rocket run for quite a long time whilst being in tier 3 but didn't use it. So yeah, lots of mistakes still from Grushin. Yeah, it is a hard matchup, I'll give him that. But I think he definitely could have had it in this case. Lots of mistakes from Wingblade as well. Didn't like his Guardian usage early on. Far too much bleed incurred unnecessarily. Set him back quite a lot. I don't know if the second Falcon was intentional or not. It was not a very good idea. I did like his play to Gembash with it when he did get it, but yeah, he needed the Wraithguard out sooner, and he acknowledged that, and he got the double Wraithguard, and it made him win the game. Really nice Webber gate usage. Make or break in terms of, yeah, fucking hell. Webber gates on this map. Rough. God, fighting Eldar is such cancer as Imperial Guard. No Ogryns. Think about it, there's only a Bright Lance on the field, there's no more Shurikens anymore. There wasn't Shurikens for ages. Was it really worth it to not get any Ogryns? Maybe drop down the Lehman Russ, then get Ogryns straight away. Did have the money for it. Shitloads of power. Food for thought, guys. Top it out.